The Fire Raven is a film directed by Sam Kwan. I've seen two of this director's films. He seems to find a niche with revenge thriller movies. So I think his debut film, or maybe not his debut, but one of his earliest ones was Sheep Without a Shepherd, which is a remake of Drishyam, a thriller about a father whose daughter is harmed by the son of a corrupt official, and he seeks revenge and kills. No, he doesn't kill. He covers up the murder, basically. And then his Sam Kwan's second film was a place called Silence. Then he remade it with a bigger budget, I guess. So I've only seen the remake. I haven't seen the original. So this new one is called The Fire Raven, and it's very similar. Tianyeng, when he was really young, him and his adopted sister, they're living in a futuristic, apocalyptic, dystopian place called Duma City. And apparently there was a large fire and people live in Undercity. So there's like different class struggles. And Tianyeng, when he was young, he snuck on a train with his sister and witnessed a vicious murder. And he drew everything down in a comic book and lost the comic book. But then now the comic book has shown up at a crime scene, and certain people are being targeted and killed by a vicious killer in a crow mask. And the crow mask is tied to the city celebration. So this is kind of like a slasher kind of murder mystery cop thriller film. And his sister Tianyeng, she basically became a tough tomboy police detective lady, and she's working on the case, and he gets roped into it as well. This movie, I wanted to like it. I was enjoying it for the most part. It's pretty violent. It's pretty thrilling. But the movie turns into a genre soup by maybe the halfway point, where it starts to get really melodramatic, and then it turns into a disaster film. Then it turns into a dark superhero movie. But it gets to the point where certain things happen in the movie that don't even make sense. I'm not talking about like you notice the plot hole, hours later. Like Alfred Hitchcock had a famous quote saying, if you watch a movie and you're entertained, and then 3 hours later you go home, you're eating a midnight snack, and you're like, wait a second, how did this happen? Then, the director has gotten away with it because you didn't notice in the moment you enjoyed the movie. If you notice after, it's like whatever. But watching this movie, there's a lot of just stuff that just seems implausible. It doesn't work. You can definitely tell when a movie bends the rules of reality or tries to force something to happen because they want it to happen rather than letting it happen naturally. So there's like two large things that happen to a character that really just don't make sense at all, and it sort of just sullies the film a little bit. I mean, I enjoyed it for the most part. I like the main actress. She's like this tough, no-nonsense cop lady trying to stop a killer from going after these guys, and then you find out who the killer is and why, how it's connected to the train or whatever. And I can buy like all the little stuff. I like the sort of world building of the Duma City and the Undercity, and doing that displaces it from modern day China, and then you can play around with a darker ending because you don't have to. I noticed that with A Place Called Silence, the movie was pretty good, but the movie also has to bend itself backwards to sort of fit with the sort of censorship of modern day Chinese filmmaking. So back in the day, the Hays Code really didn't allow things to be shown on screen. Right now, China has a lot of censorship. So whenever you have like a murky crime thriller movie with murders or killing or vigilantes, the vigilante usually has to get captured by the police and serve a lot of prison, or the corrupt villains have to go to prison, and the police are awesome. You get propaganda movies, like a couple of ones that I've seen recently. So this movie doesn't have that problem of the censorship changing the ending so that so-and-so has to go to prison, because they made it a futuristic sort of dystopian future that's different. However, the storytelling is just all over the place, and the movie just doesn't work in the last act. I was enjoying it for the most part. I'd say the last maybe 20 minutes really falls apart. So The Fire Raven starts off pretty good, but turns into a nonsense kind of movie by the end. I give it a 5 out of 10.